Hare Krishna, everybody. We're just having fun in the pool, and there's something that I wanted to talk about because it's been on my mind lately. And
I
can't be serious.
did scary. Hey, what are you doing?
So, kind of a disclaimer before I get into this. I'm going to be discussing a little bit of numerology, which a lot of people will get on to me about, saying that numbers don't represent anything that isn't in the scriptures, blah, blah, blah. But the way that I feel about it is that any relation that you can make from that connects the mundane to the divine, that means you're in a good place. One of the things that I've been struggling with lately is that some people in my life are getting upset that I haven't been able to put as much time into our relationships as maybe they were used to or would like. But the way that I look at it is that everybody in this life is looking for something. And in the end, I think it all falls down to truth. And when you find your truth, then I think you have to drop everything and run for it. Otherwise, there's no purpose to this life. It's so short. Like the Buddha used to say, because I used to be Buddhist, being in this material life is like being in a house on fire. And that kind of brings me to my point about talking about the relationship of Super Mario 64 and Hare Krishna, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. I'm gonna fall! So, if none of you guys are familiar with a game called Super Mario 64, it was of course on the Nintendo 64. And the main character's name was Mario, and basically he was trapped in Bowser's castle until he could find enough stars to get to the main boss, who was Bowser. The number 64 is very significant because the number 6 could represent the six-pointed star in Goloka. So you could also call it the abode. And then the number 4, well, I'll have to pretext the number 4 quickly. So the number 1, when it comes to my opinion, and what helps me see the divine and the mundane, is of course Krishna. It's the male aspect, phallic symbol. What, buddy? Okay. So number 1 represents God. Number 2 represents nature, or Radharani, who is Krishna's divine nature, which makes her our nature, because we are the parts and parcels of Krishna. She controls Krishna, we are Krishna, thus she controls us. She is our nature. Now, 3 would be something that they manifest together. And that would represent... Jump! That would represent order. So whenever you have God and nature, you get order. And moving on to number 4, 4 represents Dharma, because this is also something that they manifest when they are together. And if you don't know what Dharma means, it's basically your religious purpose, duty, purpose, and also your material purpose. So the number 64 could represent the abode of Dharma, which is exactly what that game represents to me. So you're in Bowser's castle. But really, it's the main boss of this real life game is Maya, right? Is it Maya?
Yeah.
Or Bowser? It's Maya, right? So if you're in material consciousness, then the main boss, then the main boss of this life is Maya, if you're in material consciousness. But as we know, material consciousness is a perverted reflection of Goloka consciousness. So, the main point of the game Super Mario 64 is to collect enough stars to reach the final boss. So, you can, and like that game, there were paintings in the castle. And whenever you jumped into the paintings, that was like a level. So that kind of represents, jump, jump, jump. You got it, you got it, you got it. Let's go to the other one. So each one of those paintings kind of represents a life. After you collect all the stars from that life, you go to the next life. But here's the thing about that, is that you don't have to collect any stars. You can go to the final boss from the get-go. And like I said, it's a perverted reflection of Goloka, which we can experience where we are right now. We don't have to die. We don't have to wait till the next life to go to the final boss. We can go right now. And the final boss of the material consciousness is, of course, Maya Devi. And if you're in Goloka consciousness and you don't have to collect the stars, then we can just go straight to Krishna and dwell with him in his abode in Goloka Vrindavan. But that's pretty much all I really wanted to say.
I want to do it. I want to walk.
But I just want the people in my life to know that I've found truth, and I want them to find their own truth. Because life isn't just about one thing. It's not just about material family, material possessions.
I want to walk.
It's about finding a higher taste and a higher purpose. I love you guys. Here's Gavin one more time. Hope you guys are having fun today. Hare Krishna. I love you guys dearly. Hare Krishna.